Good afternoon. First of all, I want to thank Topcon for allowing me to collaborate in the organization and to participate in this very, very interesting meeting. I am going to present my study of the age-related choroidal changes with Sweat-Shoes OCT. This is my disclosure. It's difficult to see the choroid by standard spectral luminosity due to the penetrance decreased with deep and the resolution decreased with deep. But with IDI or with Sweat-Shoes OCT, the quality of the image of the choroids improves a lot. Sweat-Shoes OCT allow us to quantify and measure the choroidal thickness using B-mode scan. Is also useful to study the vascular density and morphology of the choroid using C-mode scan and ANFAS. It is necessary to know in greater detail the characteristics of the choroid to be able to establish its role in different diseases. Variation in choroidal thickness and morphology has been associated with a lot of conditions, and age-related thinning of the choroid of healthy patients studied by Sweat-Shoes OCT and spectral luminosity has been well documented, as well as differences in choroidal thickness between adult and pediatric population. We have published the macular choroidal thickness profiles in a healthy population with mean subfoveal choroidal thickness and mean macular choroidal thickness, with no differences between gender, and the profile of the macular choroidal thickness in a healthy population is similar between different age groups, being thicker when younger. We also studied and published the choroidal thickness in a young population that is not thicker than in adults, but temporal choroidal thickness is greater in young people, in underage people, than in adult people. We also have studied the asymmetry in macular choroidal thickness profile between both eyes in healthy population. We have found thicker macular nasal choroidal in the right eye compared with the left eye. In contrast, subfoveal choroidal thickness and temporal thickness were not found to be different between eyes. We have also studied the choroidoscleral interface, and in normal condition is bowl or concave, but it's possible to find temporal choroidoscleral interface inflection with focal thinning of the choroid, and must be considered a normal variation without clinical significance, especially among young people, as you can see in the slide down. We have also analyzed the age-related choroidal layer thinning in healthy eyes, which will be presented later by Dr. Ruiz Medrano. In summary, this is 5 years of study of choroidal thickness. Choroidal thickness decreases with age. The profile of macular choroidal thickness in a healthy population is similar between different age groups, being thicker when younger. Subfoveal choroidal thickness and temporal choroidal thickness were not found to be different between eyes, but macular nasal choroidal is thicker in the right eye compared with the left eye. Temporal choroidoscleral interface inflection with focal thinning of the choroid can be considered a normal variation without clinical significance, especially among young people. But choroidal thickness is not only the key factor. A lot of us have older patients, as these two patients of the pictures, with normal best corrected visual acuity and very thin choroid. And the contrary, we have older patients with vascular diseases as AMD or polypoidal vasculopathy, with low best corrected visual acuity and normal thicker choroid. Now we are studying vascular density of the choroid by two different techniques. One of them was binarization technique, performed in the B scan, and ANFAS C scan technique. The first one has been accepted to be published in Retina this year. Is age-related changes in choroidal vascular density of healthy subjects based on image binarization of Sweat-Shoes optical coherence tomography, according to the binarization technique published by Sonoda and Agarwal previously. The aim of the paper is to analyze the vascular density of the choroid in a healthy population using Sweat-Shoes OCT and compare the differences in choroidal vascular with increasing age. It was a cross-sectional non-interventional study. All examinations were obtained in the afternoon to avoid diurnal variation. This is the inclusion criteria of our patients, and this is the binarization technique. We identify the Bruch membrane and the choroidoscleral interface. The gray and white zones are stroma, the dark zones are lumen of the vessels. We have studied choroidal area, vascular and stromal area, and ratio between vascular area and total area. The name is percentage of choroidal vascularity. We have also measured the choroidal thickness, and we have looked for correlation between mean choroidal thickness, subfoveal choroidal thickness, age, spherical equivalent, and sex with the parameters study. We have performed two different classifications, until 18 years old and older, and 5 different age groups. This is our series with the mean of the age, 136 left eyes. Only one eye is possible to study to avoid induced artifacts, and the mean spherical equivalent, and with this the results. In younger group, under 18 years old, the choroidal area, the vascular region, and the percentage of vascularity was bigger than the older population with a very high statistical significance. But stromal region is not different between young people and older people. The results is exactly if we perform the 5 groups of study. We found that choroidal area, vascular region and vascularity was bigger in young people in respect to older people, but there is no differences, the statistical is not different when we study the stromal region. We have found also correlation, a very big correlation between age, choroidal area, vascular region, and percentage of vascular density, but not between age and stromal area. We also found statistical significant correlation between choroidal area and mean and subfoveal choroidal thickness. The main input in relation to previous study of our study is stromal area and age are not correlated. This is the limitation of our study, and the conclusions are using mineralization techniques, luminal and stromal areas can be separately analyzed. The area of the choroid, the luminal area, and the percentage vascular total area decrease with increasing age, while stromal area remain stable. Our results should provide basic information about age-related changes in normal choroid. But we have previously seen that we can study the choroidal circulation using ANFAS-C scan. ANFAS study allows us high-definition, three-dimensional, deep-resolved choroidal reconstruction that documents details of the choroidal vasculature, as this very nice picture that you can see now. This is the original image with three-dimensional 12 by 9 millimeters volumetric scan, and we performed using the software of the Atlantis, the flattening at any level. We performed the flattening at the level of the RPE, and RPE was segmented as references. And we can perform a C-scan segmentation of any level of the choroid as we want. As this case, at level of the choriocapillaries, and medium vessels, and big vessels of the choroid with very nice images. We have used the software ImageG, and we have performed a study in 3 different deeper structures to calculate the percentage of vascularity according to the pixels obtained in each image, as you can see in this picture, to measure the percentage of vascularity of any deeper study, choriocapillaries, medium, and bigger vessels of the choroid. We have performed a prospective observational study of 98 eyes of 98 patients with normal best-corrected visual acuity. We have used ANFAS Sweetsus OCT is not Triton, is Atlantis images performed in ANFAS-C scan, analyzed at 5 microns from RPE, 25 microns and 100 microns to quantify the pixels and to obtain the density of vessels at its C scan. We can see the image of choriocapillaries, medium and big vessels in young people. This is in adult people, the same 3 C scans, choriocapillaries, medium and big vessels, and this one is on old people. The results. We have found no differences at the first CT scan at 5 microns. That explains the possibility to have a very good vision in all people with very thin choroid, because choriocapillaries remains more or less stable along all the life. We have found differences, but without statistical significant differences at 25 microns, is medium vessels, but we have found statistical significant differences at the level of big vessels of the choroid, being more vascularized in young people and less in older people more than 60 years old. The limitation of our study is the reduced number of eyes studied. Only healthy eyes with normal choroidal thickness. We have not studied pathological eyes. And if the choroidal thickness is low, it's not possible to perform the study. Why? Because we can see one example. If the choroid is very thin, the third CT scan at 100 microns is at level of the sclera, is not at level of the choroid. For this reason, if the choroid is thin, it's not possible to perform this study. But in conclusion, using quantification of pixels in unfast OCT images of the choroid vessels, choroidal layers can be separately analyzed. The area of the vessels at the choriocapillaries remains stable in our series. I think that is the explanation of good visual acuity with very thin choroid in older people. The area of the vessels at the Haller layers progressively decrease with the aging, and there is no differences at the Sadler layer. Thank you very much for your attention. Sorry for my English.